Well, y'all, we are back in the kitchen. As you can see, there's some makings there. It's gonna be a 5-flavor pound cake. I'm gonna cook supper and do some boneless barbecue ribs. Gonna do a whole bunch of pigs in a blanket to take to the fair, and some homemade chicken salad. And we gotta cook supper too, and some other things. So y'all hang in there with us. We fixing to throw down in the kitchen, me and Little Lynn. Y'all, we've got these boneless spare ribs here, and I love this maple barbecue. What we're gonna do is sprinkle this dry rub all over it really good and generous. And we're gonna put another layer here on top. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let these set and let this marinade get in. We'll stick them in the fridge and get them, let this marinade, this seasoning time to set on them. And what we'll do is, when we take it out of the fridge, we will, wash my hands, excuse me. We will, we'll take my homemade barbecue sauce after they've cooked a while with just a dry rub, and we'll have them wrapped up. And what we'll do is, we will, the last few minutes, we'll put that sauce on them and let that stuff do its thing. And it's gonna be ready to eat. We're cooking for Lynn's parents and my parents, and of course me and Lynn. And we'll have some green beans and a thing or two, but we're gonna cook this as we're getting ready to prepare the food to take to the fair. All right, y'all, we back in the kitchen. Miss Lynn finally got done with work, and we are creaming Crisco and butter. We are creaming Crisco and butter. We'll make a cake and a bunch of other things to go to the fair with. I'll explain about that directly. We're going to do a 5-flavor pound cake, and just want to bring y'all along while we're in the kitchen. And I hope you do enjoy this video. We're cooking just a little bit of everything. Okay, y'all. Cream the butter and the Crisco. And I've added the sugar and creamed that in there. And I've added my eggs one at a time. And we got all great stuff going on. We're cooking to take some food with us to the fair. Because y'all know how high the fair food is. And so these are my version of pigs in the blanket. They're more like hogs at the trough. They're a whole hot dog. But man, they smell good. We got a pot of beans going for supper, and Miss Lynn had finally got done with work, and she's over here. Say hey, Miss Lynn.
Hey.
She's over here making homemade chicken salad. And so we're trying to get some stuff kind of stirred up to go to the fair. Hey, she pretty girl. She's in here helping me. We're going to try to stir up some stuff to take to the fair, have some food on hand. If you didn't, you'd spend a fortune. And I've got to add flour and my sour cream. Of course, I always start with flour and end with flour. But we'll be back here in just a minute. And we hope y'all enjoying this cooking video. Alright, y'all, we got everything mixed in, all the flour and sour cream and baking powder and salt, flavor, all that stuff. Got my pan greased. This old pan right here was my grandmother Jackson, and I would love to know how many cakes that she cooked in this old pan, and I'm still using it. But hadn't even got the cake in the oven. It already smells good, y'all.
It really does smell good.
We got the pigs in the blanket all ready, and beans is a cooking. And I'm fixing to put our spare ribs in the oven so I don't have to open the door once I get my pound cake in there. Miss Lynn, she's over here working on making chicken salad. So we just got all, as old man Edgar Huzzy used to say, we just got all grades of stuff going on in here. But we do enjoy cooking, and we do enjoy y'all being with us. So y'all just keep watching, and we're gonna just keep stirring up some stuff. Y'all, here's our spare ribs. It's got the dry rub on them. They've been sitting over an hour. We're gonna put them in the oven. It's gonna let them cook right slow along with our while the pound cake's in there. Have them on one shelf, and after the pound cake comes out, we'll check them, and then probably start beginning to glaze them with my homemade barbecue sauce. So I'm gonna get them in, get our cake poured up in the pan, get it in the oven, and see what else we're fixing to stir up. Y'all, look at there. That old big pan just about full. In about an hour and 20 minutes, we get that thing out of the oven. She'll be ready for the next step then. Y'all, I had to come over here and sit down. Miss Lynn, she's finishing up the chicken salad. And I appreciate her helping. I'm sure some of y'all are thinking, if you're going to the fair, why in the world are you taking food? Well, we're going to be down there for Wednesday, Thursday, come home Friday. Well, I don't know if any of y'all been to the fair lately, but it's kind of pricey. And I am tight, but it's because I ain't got a lot of money just to throw around. So we thought, well, we might get a surprise or two while we're down there, but we're going to cook and take most of what we're going to eat. So Miss Lynn's making a breakfast casserole to take, and have a way to heat it up, and we've got the pigs in the blanket, homemade chicken salad. Going to have this pound cake, and she's going to make some cookies. And did I leave anything out? Is that everything? And then Miss Jackie, now she's fixing some stuff for her and Jeremy's going to bring, so we'll just kind of have a little buffet down there. That's not to say we still won't get something at the fair, but I don't think it hurts to be a little conservative these days. So that's kind of what we're doing. But we're going to take some stuff to kind of lighten the load of the expenses. And it's kind of like when I was a boy, we would go to the mountains. And I can remember many a time, Mama would fry chicken, and she'd have stuff, and we'd put in the back of the car. And if we stopped on the way up there, we'd eat what Mama cooked. And even on vacation, we didn't eat out a lot because they didn't have it. And so I guess I'm kind of still that way, but that's all right. That's all right. I told Daddy this morning, we and him were together, I said, you know, he asked me what I was going to do. I said, well, we're going to try to fix a little something to take with us to the fair. And he said, I don't blame you. He said, your victuals will be a whole lot better than what you can get at that fair. So I just kind of wanted to explain why we was cooking to take to the fair. Not that I needed to, I just thought I would. But I appreciate so much Miss Lynn helping me, and got a lot more coming up here, so y'all just keep watching. All right, y'all, that cake is about to come out of the oven. And you say, what is that stuff right yonder? Well, let me tell you what that stuff is. Grandma always said, about the time that cake comes out, you get your syrup ready. That's what she called it. She called it syrup. It's nothing more than a glaze, really, that you pour over it while the cake's still hot and in the pan. And what it is some water and it's some sugar. And it's a little bit of each of these flavorings that is in the cake, which makes this a 5-flavor pound cake. Now, I've got a friend that she does a 7-flavor cake that is really, really good. I've never done a 7-layer. I just do the 5-layer. You want to get this, as Grandma called it, want to get this syrup good and hot. And bring it to a boil. When the cake comes out, we will spoon this over the cake. I wish y'all could smell this. All right, y'all, the cake is not quite ready. We're gonna check our boneless spare ribs here. You remember when we put them in the oven? And is that the little lens? There we go. And you know, we put them in the oven, and well, we let them set with a dry rub. Can y'all see how tender those are? Thank you, honey. I'm trying to do it one hand. I should have let Lynn do it. Me standing here cooking in my overall. But these things are tender. Hold that there, honey. Now, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, this sauce right here, this is sauce that is homemade, my homemade barbecue sauce. And I'm gonna tell you something. You talking about good. Miss Lynn, you tell them about my homemade sauce.
It's delicious.
And
I can drink it out of the bottle.
now, I'm gonna tell you something. This stuff right here is some kind of good. Now, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna check that cake again in a minute. We're gonna do salge. Y'all gonna think, what kind of language is that? Salge, that was an old word Daddy used to say. We're gonna really cover this stuff up good with this homemade sauce. And we're gonna put them things back in there, and we're gonna let them continue to cook. And won't be long. Them little baby dolls right there is gonna be ready to eat. All right, y'all, the cake is out. Have you ever seen one cake? Ain't that thing pretty? I hope it'll turn out good. And we're gonna take and get our syrup. We got our syrup over here ready. We're gonna go around and we're gonna put it around the edges of the pan, all the way around the outside edge and around here in the middle. And we're gonna let that seep in, and we're gonna let it sit just a few minutes, then we're gonna turn it out. Let it cool, and then we'll do a glaze, and it will be done. Appreciate y'all so much watching, and we're gonna have all kind of vittles ready here for long. All right, y'all, Miss Lynn's back over here, and we thought that since we were going to the fair and going with folks that were taking cattle, that it would be fitting to make
Cow patties.
That's right, cow patties. Cow patties. We're making cow patties. Miss Lynn is, I'm not. So I told y'all we was gonna stir up a little bit of everything in this video, and that's what we're doing. At the end, we'll try to show you how everything turned out. But we're just trying to take you along step by step. But she is getting her stuff ready. And it won't be long. She'll be dropping patties out here somewhere. So
So if you've never made these before, they are absolutely delicious. And all we have in the pot here, we have sugar, butter, cocoa, milk, and
Flavor.
and
Or you put your flavor.
I hadn't put my flavor in yet. So you'd put 1 cup of sugar, 1 stick of butter, a 1/2 cup of milk, and a 1/3 cup of cocoa. And that's what we're cooking together right now.
Okay. She's fixing it up, y'all. I gotta get her wax paper down. We'll be back in a minute. Well, y'all, after we let the cake sit, we turned it out, and it's mighty pretty. Smells mighty good. Miss Lynn is over here, and she's dropping cow patties and getting stuff ready to go to the fair. And appreciate her help.
These are yummy, aren't they? Aren't they so good?
They are good. A lot of people call them preacher cookies.
Or no bake cookies.
Yeah,
too.
no bake too, but I've heard them called preacher cookies more than anything on account of it don't take no time to fix them, and you can whip up something fast if the preacher just shows up. And our preacher, now he likes fried chicken and taters and green beans and that kind of stuff. But now these cookies right here now, you can whip them rascals up in just no time, and you can have a whole plate full of cookies for long. But Miss Lynn, she's getting them done. As she's doing that, we're gonna come over here and we've just taken our ribs out. We'll let them rest just a few minutes and see how these things are. Or you can just break them apart. They're so tender. So we're gonna let them sit here in the sauce and just rest, as they call it. And we'll have them with some green beans for everybody. And won't be long, we'll have all the finished products. And like I say, we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you liking and subscribing. And if you like our stuff, feel free to share it. And maybe we'll encourage somebody and be a blessing to somebody. That's our prayer. And but we like to bring you along with us in the kitchen, don't we, Miss Lynn?
We do.
That's right.
Because I told Jeremy earlier, like, I love cooking. And I love cooking with him. I've always liked to cook, but it's so much more fun when we can cook together.
That's right. I'll tell you one thing, me and this little woman right here have stirred up a pile of groceries in the time we've been courting. And I hope to stir up a pile more for us over with. But we'll be back directly. Y'all, we thought we'd take a little break and sample these ribs and these green beans, and if they taste anything like they smell, I think, as Grandma says, I think they're gonna be fitting to eat. Well, y'all, cake come out, let it cool just a little bit, and put a glaze on it. I prefer icing on this cake, but with traveling, I didn't know how icing would do, so I just did a glaze on it this time. So I hope that it will still be I hope it'll be good. It smells really, really good, so I hope it will be. But Lynn's got her cow patties over here, and she's letting them set up. She's worried they're not going to set up. But I told her it'd be all right, but she is making a breakfast casserole for us to take where we can heat up. And we'll have it put together here shortly and be wrapping everything up. I'm sorry it's been kind of drawn out, but y'all know how it is when you're cooking. You just have to do what you have to do. But I will say this, the ribs and the green beans were absolutely delicious.
They were really good.
They were hard to beat. I'll tell you they was. Those green beans, of course, what we canned out of the garden, and those boneless spare ribs. When I went to get the stuff that I needed to finish what we needed to take to the fair, they had the spare ribs marked down for quick sale, so I brought them home or brought them to Lynn's, and we fixed those, and they were mighty good. We got a really good deal on them, and we're kind of frugal people anyway, but that's all right too, you know it. But we do appreciate y'all watching, and hope y'all enjoy this. All right.
Okay, so we are almost ready to put the breakfast casserole in the oven, just as soon as we finish mixing everything together. So in the mixing bowl, we have a dozen eggs, 2 cups of cheese, and a cup of milk. So I've mixed all that together. We have a pound of bacon and a pound of sausage. And I'm going to just mix in with that. And then I have, the recipe called for just a medium-sized onion, so I just took an onion and cut it up. And you can add sweet pepper if you want to the recipe. I really like that, but this time we're going to make it without pepper. And then we just mix all this together. And then you're going to put it in a greased 9x13 pan. And then just bake it for about 35 to 40 minutes on 350 degrees. So we've got the oven preheating now. But it is so good.
I've never had this, y'all. It's going to be my first time.
It tastes a lot, it reminds me of like a Southwestern omelet.
Oh, okay. Lynn's gonna be in meetings in Greensboro, and me and Jeremy and Jackie, we're going to the fair. So, like I say, we're just trying to take some stuff that we can heat up and have to eat while we're down there to try to save some money and be economical. Because fair food is so expensive. That looks good, y'all.
And I'm using the whisk as a spoon. You're not supposed to do that, I don't think, but anyway.
Shake all that good sausage out of it.
There we go.
There we go. When she gets it out, y'all, we're going to get everything and kind of show you what all we ended up with today. It's been a good day, and I ask you to pray for Lynn as she's going to be gone. Pray for me as I'll be gone, and we'll try to check in when we can. Okay, y'all, Miss Lynn's got her breakfast casserole done. Homemade chicken salad, pigs in a blanket, cow patties, and a 5-flavor pound cake. And you can see all of this besides our ribs and our green beans we did for supper. But all this right here is South Carolina bam. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. We really don't have a lot of what you'd say recipes. We just kind of cook, if that makes sense. We do hope you've enjoyed being in the kitchen with us, and hope you'll come back. And thank you for all your support, and for liking and sharing and subscribing and commenting. We both love to hear from you. We read each and every comment that comes in. And remember, we'll have some stuff coming from the fair this week. Y'all, she beats anything I've ever seen in my life. We're trying to figure out how to get this camera right. But we appreciate you watching. Appreciate you sticking in. I know this video may be long. I know it's been a lot of different cooking, but it's kind of like an afternoon in our kitchen. And yours, sis, when we're really doing some cooking, ain't it right, honey?
That's right.
But if y'all could hear in that last segment right there, you could hear a man talking in the back. I want to ask you to do something for me. I want you to go over to Metcalf Meals if you haven't. And I'll put a link in the description of his channel. And I want you to check him out. If you don't do anything else but listen to his video about how the Lord saved him, it blesses me. I've watched it I don't know how many times. And me and Lynn was sitting here watching it again. And I told Lynn, I said, they could hear Justin in the background, which is fine. But I want you to go check him out. I've never met the man. I hope to one day. Brother Lon had told me about him, and I've subscribed. And if you hadn't subscribed to him, I wish you would too. And like and share and support him and encourage him. Because a new convert, let me tell you something, the devil's going to fight them tooth and nail. And we want to rally around our brother and let him know we love him, support him. We've been there, and we're there for him. So, like I say, I'll put a link in the description. Go over and check him out. I would appreciate it. And y'all just keep watching. We'll have some footage from the fair. I hope to. And but I'm fixing to go home and try to get me a little rest. But we love you. Appreciate you. Miss Lynn, what you gonna say?
Just say thank you so much for joining us.
That's right.
And we do love you. And we're praying for you. And just pray for us.
That's right. Y'all know how it goes. You keep loving on folks, keep serving folks, and keep bragging on Jesus. You will get the blessing. Good night, y'all.
Bye. Bye.